Hey guys, Superman is back, and today I'm going to be giving you my ranking for every Spider-Man suit, live action wise, now that Brand New Day has come out. In dead last place, we're going to have Andrew's homemade suit. This suit stinks so bad. The lenses are somewhat mid, the outfit's just bad, the color scheme's bad. It's just such a bad suit. I do not like it, even though Andrew is my favorite Spider-Man. It's just such a bad suit. And unfortunately, next up is TASM 1 suit. This suit is also bad. I hate the texture on it. It looks so weird. The lenses are bad. It's just not that good of a suit. It's just somewhat better. And you're probably thinking, wait, you have the other homemade? Yes, I do. The other homemade suits are way better. They look better than TASM 1. TASM 1, hot take, I like it better than Tobey's Spider-Man 1. Not hate me. So we're still not in good suit territory yet, but this is a much better suit. I do like this suit better than the others. But yeah, there's not much other I could say about it. This suit was purely made to sell toys. I'm sorry, it was. Next, we have Tom's homemade suit. This is where we get into good territory. Tom's homemade suit, I do like it a lot. I do think it looks most like a Spider-Man suit. I do think Tobey's Spider-Man's homemade suit is more iconic, which gives it bonus points for me. I do think Tom overall does technically have the better homemade suit, but I think Tobey's is just too iconic to not have above Tom's. Now we have Night Monkey next. Okay, I don't like this suit. It reminds me a lot of the Spider-Man Noir suit, which I like. And I kind of like the agent look. Not gonna lie, I don't like the fingerless gloves. That looks awesome to me. I like the flip-up lenses. I don't like how it looks like a sweater. I'm not the biggest fan of that. In this picture, you can't really see that it looks like a sweater, but in the movie it does, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I feel like Nick Fury could have put a little bit more effort into a super Spider-Man, but whatever, it is what it is. And now we have Tobey's homemade suit. I love the spider on this. The spider looks so good. I love, like, the spray painted look. I like the mask. I like the pants. I'm not the biggest fan of the gloves. I think they're hockey gloves. I have no clue, honestly. They just kind of look odd to me. But I think it's very iconic, this suit. And I think it does a lot for his character overall. I like the suit, though. I think the color scheme is really nice on it, too, as well. Next, I have the Inside Out suit. Alright, I love this suit. I'm a big STEM nerd, personally, and I like the wire sticking out. I'm also from New Orleans, so black and gold for the Super Bowl. But yeah, I like the black and gold look on this. I like how the spider almost looks bigger. I like how it's not, like, crazy cluttered, but I like all the wiring. I think the wiring looks very nice on it. And I know this is like, oh, well, you didn't like the other one, but it specifically only sells toys. Yes, but also that one also didn't really have a purpose. They just had to find a place for the nanotech. He could have easily just spawned back in the Iron Spider if he felt like it. This at least has somewhat of a purpose because somebody threw some slime on him or whatever. Next, I have the Civil War and Homecoming suit. I think this is a good suit for Tom to start off with. I think it fits the vibe of Tom Holland's new Spider-Man. I do think the spider is very small on this. I think some of the black detailing isn't needed. I like how it's very practical, though. Like with the web cartridges around the waist. The web shooters, I feel like, blend very well into the suit. I like the colors. I love how the colors pop on this thing. And honestly, I think this might be the best, strongest Spider-Man suit. And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Isn't the Iron Spider? Technically it is, but technically it's not. Here's why I think this suit is better. I think the Iron Spider suit does have more capabilities. But I think about it. But the Civil War suit went through the fight in Belgium or whatever, where it was. And then it also held a ferry together, didn't get a scratch on it. But the Iron Spider suit, he fought in Endgame. You could see part of the Homecoming suit under it. Homecoming suit still doesn't have scratches. Like, I just think it might be his strongest suit. Now I have MCU Iron Spider next. I like the MCU Iron Spider suit. I think it's very underrated. I think people hate on it because it was in No Way Home and it was in Far From Home. It is very underrated. I like the look. I feel like it fits the MCU look of it. I know people are like, oh, I want the comic suit. I think this looks better than comic suit. Very hot take. I know. I think it looks better personally, though. I like the gold detailings on it. I feel like it works for this suit. I feel like it very feels Tony Stark for this universe. And I just like it overall. Because Tony Stark and Spider-Man are very close in this universe. So Tony definitely wanted to keep some Peter Parker stuff in there, not just make it all orange and gold and red or whatever you want to do with it. Next, I have the Far From Home suit. When I think of Tom Holland Spider-Man, this is what I think of. I do think the spider is still too small. I think it did get a little bit bigger, but I feel like it gave Tom Holland Spider-Man a chance to shine. I like Far From Home. I think it's one of the better Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I think it is better than Homecoming, personally. But I do feel like that this suit has definitely some stuff wrong with it. I don't know why there's the little white outline around the spider. I feel like that kind of looks odd. But I like how the black looks on this suit. I like how he's kind of growing out of his kiddish ways, if you will. Especially after killing Mysterio, or quote-unquote killing Mysterio. He kind of killed himself. Like, we got a Green Goblin situation over here. Next, I have the final swimsuit. I love the spider on this. I feel like the spider is the perfect size on this. I do like the shimmer. I feel like the shimmer looks really nice. I love how bright everything is on this suit. I feel like the brightness on the suit really does it justice. I wanted to see this suit, how it kind of worked in the daytime. After playing it in Spider-Man 2 a little bit, I know this isn't the best translation of it, but, like, Spider-Man 2 definitely didn't do the shimmerness as well, especially during the day. It definitely looked more teal, if you will. I still think it looks very nice, but definitely more of a nighttime suit. And then also the whole thing is CGI. This is not a practical suit. But yeah, I still think this is a very nice looking suit. And I honestly would not have been upset if this was the go-to suit for Spider-Man Brand New Day. In fourth place, I'm going to put Tobey's normal suit. I feel like Tobey definitely has a great suit. I like the silver webbing. I do kind of wish it was a little bit darker. I think it's a little bit too white looking, especially in this picture I'm looking at. I feel like the lenses are also too dark, in my opinion. I think the spider definitely looks odd on his back. I think in some shots, for sure, it definitely looks more like a teal, or like a navy blue, or like a very, like, I don't know how to explain it. I think a teal is the best way to explain it. In some scenes, it definitely looks like that. The CGI could look bad on it sometimes, I think, for sure. Especially, like, in the first movie, it can get bad with the CGI. But I do still very much like the suit. And in third place, I have Tobey's symbiote suit. This suit is just so good. I think I would want this for Tom Holland's MCU symbiote suit. Because it's not supposed to look like an alien. I forgot his name. I really wish I remembered this guy's name. I think his name's I Do Nothing. But, like, he was saying that, like, they don't know it's an alien. That since they don't know it's an alien, they're not supposed to know it's an alien, which means it really should just look like a black version of whatever suit they're wearing, which I think makes sense. I think that works. I like that idea, and I feel like it would look really cool to have, like, this version, but for one of Tom's suits. I feel like that would look really cool. I think if we got a symbiote Iron Spider, that could look really neat. But obviously, all of that stuff is kind of terminated now because everybody doesn't know if Peter Parker exists or whatever. But yeah, I do really like this suit, though. I think it's one of the best suits of all time. Like, just in general, like any superhero suit. But yeah. In second place, I have TASM 2. TASM 2, I love the suit. I love how big the eyes are. I love how it's kind of darker, but it's not too dark. I like how it's kind of shiny. I love how we get to see how he makes the new web shooters. I think TASM 2 is underrated. I think all the Green Goblin stuff stinks, obviously, but besides that, it's really a good movie. I think it's just all the Green Goblin stuff that really brings it down. And I am kind of interested in that Sinister Six movie. At first I didn't really know what it's about, but I heard that, like, Andrew Garfield was going to be in it and everything. It was going to take place on some, like, random island, and it sounded interesting. It sounded like Incredibles almost, but with Spider-Man, which definitely sounded interesting to me. But if it was just going to be Sinister Six villains, no Spider-Man, then no, I was not going for that. But yeah, I think TASM 2 looks very nice. I like the suit a lot. I like how the webbing is raised and it's not, like, too high. I think that's something with Tobey's suit, that the the raised webbing is very high on it, and I like how it's just black webbing. The eyes are huge. I love the huge eyes, and I just feel like it's just such a nice looking suit. But in number one, without a doubt, is Spider-Man Brand New Day. This suit is just immaculate. I like how the blue is a little bit shinier than the red. I like how the webbing is just enough raised. I'm not the biggest fan of the web shooters, but I think the web shooters definitely are practical. I like how he still has some gadgets in his suit. I like how I wish I think the eyes were movable. I really cannot remember. If it had a face shell, I definitely would have liked it a lot more if it had the face shell. I love how big the spider is. I love just the proportions of the suit is perfect, honestly. I really do wish they had, like, some shells in it, though, because, like, the shaping could definitely look odd at the time. But, like, the shells, I feel like would have made it a perfect suit. Like, the best superhero suit of all time with the shells. Anyway, hope to see you all in the next one. Bye.